here we are. Blender 4.4. We're going to be doing some 2D character rigging. We're going to be doing some mesh transformations within the rigging. And we're also going to be doing some camera animation. And we're going to integrate some grease pencil hand drawing into the process as well for the ultimate workflow, one could say. Let's do it. Okay, here we go. We're going to open up Blender, and here we have the splash screen, Blender 4.4, and we're going to click on 2D animation. All right, the classic 2D animation default is right here. We're in draw mode with the stroke that we can actually delete by pressing X, and then we zoom out a little bit. All right, so as I was saying, here we are. We zoom out a little bit. We can see where the frame is of our animation. It's this right here, this rectangle. Everything that's white is going to be within the frame and therefore rendered out and visible. Everything in the gray area will not be. So it's important to remember that, keep that in mind. Some things over here, we're not going to see it. If we come out of the camera mode by just orbiting around, we see our 3D space, and we can hit Shift A to add image, mesh plane. And here we're going to import our transparent PNGs that have the character we're going to be animating. Here we go. As planes. So I brought in 2 transparent PNGs because I wanted to show how you could have each body part on a separate PNG, or you can have a few of them on one transparent PNG. If you have this one, great. If you have this, that's also great. It's just somewhat of a different process, but actually not really. This requires a few more steps in a way, but let's get to the next step, which is we want to bring them closer to the camera by pressing G to move, and then Y, and just bringing them forward. We can orbit a little bit over. Yes, they're closer to the camera. Great. Press 0 to get back in the camera. GX to move them on the X axis. With both of the transparent PNGs selected, we press S. Scale it up. How big do I actually want this? I'm thinking actually scale it down in this case, or maybe not. Let me think about it. Let's go with, we're going to scale it up. And now I'm going to go over here to the properties panel, the output, and actually swap these to make this one 1080, make this one 1920. And now I'm actually going to go vertical because the idea is I'm going to be dancing over here. And if you want to double the resolution in Blender, you can just do some math. So for example, I have 1920 times 2, press enter. What? It figures out the math for you. Right here, 1080 times 2. There you go. And now it's just going to be like 4K, or I don't know, but that might not actually be 4K. Who knows? But it's definitely double to what it was just now, which was 1920 by 1080. All right, so we have our 2 PNGs. They're transparent. And we're going to hide the one that's called parts by pressing the little I symbol. Place this in the middle. Go into edit mode. You can do it right here. Or, wait, hold on, I gotta first select it. You can go into edit mode right here, or just press tab. You know, the hotkeys come in handy for a quicker workflow. All right, so if it's not orange like this, it's not selected, so you wanna press A. It goes orange, and you've selected all of the vertices, which we're actually going to press this one right here, which is the faces. So now you select faces. Previously, it was you would select the different vertices separately, or A to select all, or go like this. This is for the edges, but we want faces. All right, so now we hit Shift K to pull up the knife tool. This little knife is going to help us cut around our transparent PNG so that it's not so large, and also importantly, so that our PNG is in the shape of what we're going to animate as a little piece, because we're going to rig this character with all the different parts. We're going to create an armature, and then we're going to parent the meshes with the armature, but we want the meshes to have a lot of faces so we can transform it and stretch and do a bunch of great stuff. So when you finish cutting around and you hit that last little vertex to complete the perimeter, you still have this. You just hit spacebar and you come out of the knife tool. You can click like this, or you can hit Shift to select multiple, or just click and drag. Then you press X and you want to delete right here, delete faces. Everything was deleted except the piece we wanted. So now we go back to object mode. You can also hit tab, and we want to right click, set origin to center of mass. All right, this is great, but we got to actually go back into edit mode. Press A, right click, triangulate faces. Then we're going to right click, subdivide. We want a lot of faces here. We're then going to want to right click and put tris to quads because we want as many quadrilaterals as possible. Subdivide it one more time for fun. And this is what we have. And this is what we want. Because now I could grab some of this and just do this. Whereas previously I couldn't when it was just one thing without all the little faces, okay? We'll see more of this, but first I'm going to do that to all the other pieces. Okay, so now here we are. I have this transparent PNG, which I'm going to hit G, X, move it over. And in this example, all the body parts are on one transparent PNG. That might be the case for you, or you might have separate PNGs for all of them. Either way, I just showed you how to do when it's just one body part per PNG. But let's say you have them all on one. Here we go, enter edit mode. We get out the knife tool, make sure everything is selected. Shift K, we have the knife, and now we're going to just cut around. This is the neck. Click, click. You don't have to be too precise. Hit space, nice. Select again, Shift K. You don't have to be too precise because as long as you're somewhat close, that is good enough. Keep clicking. All right, here, we're gonna keep going, and I'm going to do this for all of them. Shift K. And yeah, how are you doing? I'm over here doing this. Hope you're doing well. Nice. And let's see, I think I'm going to start down there. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have to be too precise. The idea is to be close to the edge. All right, so now, for example, I could click this and hit X, delete faces. There you go. I have to do this for all of them, but this is important. There has to be space right in the middle. I can't do something like this, for example. I can't just do this. And then show you what I'm about to do. I need to have a channel between these two parts. That's why this is really great. Okay, so I'm going to undo a lot of these because I want to do the parts separately and make sure I can delete in between so that they're floating. All right, so I'll keep doing that. I'm going to fast forward through this part. I'll see you soon. So if there's these lines going through, don't worry about that because that's going to be part of how we subdivide the mesh anyways. I accidentally deleted this right here, so I undid some stuff, and I'm going to get in there and make sure I get everything from the jacket. So, good idea to make sure you don't delete part of the character. Alright, there we go. I think we're looking good over here. Not deleting anything. Alright. Now I gotta do a little bit over here. Let's see, I gotta do the arms over here, the right arms, and then I think I can, yeah, then I can delete everything else. So let's do it. Alright, and if I grab this, move it over, now, this might not work over here, let's see. Oh no, so I have to get in there and make sure I separate that little point. But this one will work, so I can move everything around separately. That's really important. That's what we want to do. Wait, hold on. Okay, this one, move separately. This one, move separately. Separately. Yeah. Don't want to get the parts mixed up, so I'll put them sort of close together like that. What's going on up there? I think I can delete that one. You know what? Let's keep it. And yeah, this. All right, but right here we need to do some work. All right, so something as simple as this. Now I can move it around separately. And that is very important for what we're about to do, because this started out as one transparent piece, one transparent PNG. Check this out. We select the head, right click, separate by loose parts. Now, we go to object mode and I click this, and it's its own thing. I click this, it's its own thing. Own thing. It's its own thing. I'm going to name everything though, because this is head. This is, alright, let's go with, that's, torso. This is foot. Right, let's go with just foot R. Alright, that's foot R. Foot L. And L. And R. Okay, so I'm going to name all of these. I recommend you name them as well, and have it be something that makes sense. For example, this is the neck. Neck. All right, here we go. Fast forward. All right, so now we have everything. And the hat's right there. Yes. Even the hat is here. Amazing. There we go. All right, now we have all the pieces, and we want to make sure that the center of each one is in the middle, so we right click, hold on, origin to center of mass. Do that for all of them, starting at the top so we don't get lost. Origin, center of mass. Arm lower, origin to center of mass. Arm upper left, origin to center of mass. The reason we were doing this because, for example, arm upper right is right here, the center is right there. If I rotate it, it rotates around that center point. If I right click and set the origin to center of mass surface, now when I rotate, okay, it rotates around the center. So I'm doing this for all of them. Fast forward. All right, so now I'm going to double check, make sure all the pieces have the origin, center of mass, surface. All right, great. Okay, so now we want to go back into all of these, and like how we did the hat, go into edit mode. We have all those faces. We want to do that for every single one of these. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. Here we go. I'll do one, talk it through again, and then I'll fast forward and I'll do all of them. You can follow along. All right. All right, here we go. Starting. I'm just going to go from the top all the way to the bottom, because if I start clicking like this, I might forget and not do one. So just from the top. It's alphabetical in the outliner. Here we go. Arm lower left. Go into edit mode. Right now, remember how I had stretched that when I got all mutated here? It's not really going to happen. I could do it that way, but when we're doing the faces, all right, so okay, here we go. We're going to right click, triangulate faces, right click, subdivide, do, let's say five, right click, subdivide again, tries to quads. That looks pretty good. And then we'll go back into object mode. We'll go to the next one. The next one's over here. That's fine. Tab to go into edit mode, or right here. First we want to select all with A, right click, triangulate faces, right click, subdivide. 5 looks good. Select them all with A. We want tries to quads. We want tries to quads so that we have as many quadrilateral faces as possible to prevent any type of glitches or clipping or anything. There we are. Go back into object mode. Arm upper left. Where's that? I think it's down here. No, it's up there. Right tab, go into edit mode, press A to select all. Right click, triangulate faces, right click, subdivide. Number of cuts, we want, let's say 5. Then right click, tries to quads to make them as many quadrilaterals as possible. Subdivide again. Great. Now I'm going to go down this whole list and light speed. All right, so that was all of them. And what we want to do now is place the pieces of our character where they would go, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do it in a fast forward. All right, so right now, this is important. We want the head to be in front of the neck. How are we going to adjust this? We're going to orbit, because this is a 2D character, but we're in a 3D space. So I'm going to press G, Y, move it forward on the Y axis. Okay, now I'm going to do the same for the jacket since it goes in front of the neck. G, Y, just a little bit, okay? All these pieces are on the exact same plane, so we are going to have to adjust them a little bit. R to rotate. So that black right there is the clipping from having the planes be on the exact same, having the meshes be on the exact same plane. We're just going to adjust that a little bit. Also, for example, the saw needs to be inside the pan, so we just go into the 3D realm and move these slightly back, GY. Move these, I don't know if I want them forward or let me see. Yeah, I'll have them in front of the, or should I have them be behind? Let's go with behind, and then the feet, have them be behind the pants like that. So it's sort of like this. Let me see, but we're also trying to check the proportions here. Maybe all of this can move down a tiny bit. So G, Z. No, that's pretty good. All right, I think these could go up. Hey, I'm recording. Do you want to say anything?
Hi.
All right, we're gonna take a pause here. All right, so now I'm gonna position the hat. We've been waiting for this for a while. Oh, we're gonna move the hat forward a little bit. GY. There we go. Yeah, so much style. The little hat, the little purple hat. All right, bring the arm upper left. Gotta make sure we title these things correctly, these pieces. All right, I'm thinking that's good there. Move this there. And then the hand, rotate a little bit. And we have to figure out how this is going to, hold on, I think I want the neck to be a little bigger. So just, you know, scale it up. And these pieces, I think, so I want the arm. Oh, now we're going to be making some decisions. Do we want it to be this way? I think I'm going to go with that. The hand will be behind the forearm. How's that look? Do we want this in front? What do we want? How's that? All right, let's go with that. But let's see. Oh yeah, see, that's, we don't need to be that far in front, so we can just select and move it back a little bit. We want it to be in front, but it doesn't have to be that far in front. Okay. Because if we have it too far back, you know, this is going to be an exaggeration, but see how the scale changes? I can't even see it. Also, it's probably like back here, so we'll bring it forward. Okay. I think we wanted that in front. That's sort of what we decided. And this will go there. This will go here. We'll rotate it. All right, and I think this goes in front. That goes in front. We finished building our character. Nice. Okay, let me move this hand down a little bit. Kind of like that. All right. Let's save the project. Remember to save your projects as you're working on them. Come up to File, Save As, and save it. All right, now I'm going to click on the torso upper, right click, and I'm going to hit Snap Cursor to Selected. Now when I add something, it's going to appear right here, right where the torso is, right there, not back here or over there or somewhere else. And I'm going to now press Shift A to add. I'm going to add armature single bone, and the bone appears right there. Wow, look at that. Pretty cool. We're going to go down here to the Properties panel, the Data tab, and where it says Viewport Display, we want in front, so now the bone is visible from wherever we are, so we can always see it. And we have our bone. This is going to be how we make our skeleton, our armature. Then, with all the pieces that we have of the body parts, we're going to parent the body parts and the armature, and when we move the armature, all the body parts move. All right, let's do it. We have the bone selected. We go into edit mode. Here we are. To move the bone, you click on it. It's highlighted. You move it down or around. If you want to just move certain ends, you click just on the end, press G. Select the other and press G. And we're doing it. All right, so this bone right here. All right, so this bone we're going to move here. It's going to be the main bone. It's just kind of like down here just so that you can move everything around. And we'll have that there. Okay, this is we're going to make a spine. So with the end selected right here, we're going to hit E, bring up another bone. E again, another bone, click. One more, that's, let's say, the spine. We're gonna keep it going for the neck, the head, and we'll do that. Now, we're gonna have other bones, but we don't want all the bones to necessarily be connected to this spine that we're making. So while in edit mode and we have the bone selected, it's an armature, we're going to press Shift A, another bone appears. If you press Shift A, you get a bunch of options, but if we're in armature and we're in edit mode, you press Shift A and a bone appears. That's basically the only option. We're going to have that right there. And now we're going to make more bones. E to extrude. E. There you go. Let me think. Let's see. Feeling pretty good about that. I think actually I'm going to do something. I just had an idea. I'm going to delete that one by selecting it, pressing X, delete bone, and we're going to leave that just there, like that. Then we're going to make another one, another bone. Shift A, bring this over. It's going to be right there. Click the other end, hit G to move. That's the point of pivot right there. E, extrude another one. And actually, this is what I was thinking. I'm going to have the hand sort of be its own floating bone because I'll show you something in a second. We're going to have this like this. And it's an experiment I'm working on. So let's see what happens. But I have an idea. You'll see it soon too. Alright, move this like this. We're going to want some more bones for the leg, so Shift A, bring in a bone. Move the bones, and you don't necessarily need to know skeletal structures for everything, but it does help to understand, a little bit of the skeletal structure. Here we can select all these, duplicate them, bring them over. That last bone didn't get duplicated. Might have not selected it, that's fine. Just here, E, extrude another bone. And feeling really good. Oh, except I wanted to add one up there for fun. Well, it's all for fun. But we're also serious about our vision. And that's what we're working on right now. The vision of this character dancing. They're going to be dancing. That's the plan. Just feeling the power, the love of music. All right, so we have our bones where we want. I'm going to go back into object mode, and we're going to actually go back into edit mode. Hold on, I forgot this one very important part. Come on. We're going to click this bone, let's say that's floating. Select that first, hold Shift, and select this other one, the nearest one that's part of this spinal chain, and then right-click, parent, make parent keep offset. Now there's this little dotted line. You can't really see it, but I'll show it to you in a second. We're going to do the same with this one that's floating. Hit that one first, Shift, click that next one. You can also do Control P to make parent keep offset. You see that little dotted line? Now they're going to be connected. Control P, keep offset. This one we're going to connect to here. We're actually going to do this, and then the middle one. Make parent, keep offset. Awesome. That's like sort of clavicles. I like that. The femur. This one up top. Control P, make parent. Or you know what? Maybe I wanted to. Let me see something. Hold on a second. We can go into pose mode. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so that's connected, and down here everything's connected. Perfect. And I actually want from here, I want something to come out a little bit, and from here I want something to come out. All right, this is what we have, and it's awesome. Now we go back to object mode. We're going to select everything like this. We're not going to hit A because that would select everything. That includes the camera. We're going to do this, click and drag, make sure that the armature is selected last, so it's that orange color. It's lighter than the other object selected. We're going to Control P, set parent to armature deform with automatic weights. And now, you ready for this? We're going to go select just the armature. We're going to go to pose mode, click, let's say this upper arm right, rotate with R, and that is what we are talking about. That is awesome. That is epic. Look at, this is what I was talking about. This is why we subdivided all the meshes. Look at how the drawing, I made this with a pencil pen and colored pencil on paper, and now the meshes are mutating. They're transforming. This is really great. Let's see the hand. Ooh, look at that. The skin, the fabric, okay? Let's see this. That looks great. Really into that. Let's see this. Okay. The dance moves potential are high. Like, and let's see the little, we could tap the toe. The hat. Okay. So, but you're probably thinking, well, but look at all that distortion. Yeah, we're gonna get there. Oh, I feel good about that. And let's see this. Okay, that looks really good too. Let's double check all. Oh, okay, and we got more. These are looking really good. All right, so I went in and I went into edit mode, adjusted the bone sizes right here. I wanted it to bend a little lower. So this is R to rotate, but if I press G, it moves. Okay. Not all of them do that because, for example, these are connected. This is connected. So if I press R here, it rotates. If I press G, it rotates. Okay. But the ones that are disconnected, check this out. G, it moves. Okay. R rotates. That's why I wanted the hands. Remember I was saying, oh, what's going to happen? R rotates the hands. G moves them because I thought, oh, there could be a part where like maybe the hands are like because of so much excitement, or I like that too. Kind of like come in a little bit, like sort of like like moving around like this kind of exaggerated way. Wow, and S scales, so I could scale as well. The toes. All right, so, but there is a lot of distortion happening, and that's okay because we're going to talk about that right now. We need to go into edit mode. So right now we're pose mode, going to edit mode, and right here, the bone properties tab, it says bone 19. Here, look, I'm gonna start right here. This is bone 18. This is bone 005, bone 004. We need to know what these bones are in a logical way for the next step. So right now, instead of bone 018, I'm going to call this hat. This, I'm going to call, instead of bone 005, it's going to be head. This, neck. This right here is going to be called torso top. This is going to be torso middle. Torso bottom. This is mane, that bone we use to move the whole thing. This is going to be arm, upper, right, R. Arm, lower R, and this is hand, R. It's the right hand. I'm going to do the same for all the other bones. I'll do this side and then fast forward this for the other ones. This is leg, upper R, leg, lower R. We'll call this ankle R, and we'll call this toe R. And I'm going to do the same for all these other ones and fast forward. Alright, so now we've named all the bones. So if I cycle through the bones, head, we got leg upper R, we got leg lower L. Okay, we're going to go back to object mode, and starting at the top right here, I'm going to go through every single one of these and go into what's called weight paint mode. Weight paint. It all goes blue. This part is maybe at first a little confusing, but I'll explain it right now. With weight paint mode, we're going to determine the amount of influence each bone will have on that specific mesh. So for example here, we're going to go down here to the data, object data properties. We have all the vertex groups, okay? Starting from the top, main. Remember how there was a little bit of distortion in certain areas and we didn't necessarily want? We're going to now adjust because Blender kindly assigns certain weight based on proximity of meshes to bones, but sometimes adjustments are necessary. For the most part, this worked out really well. So we're in on lower left, and the vertex group is the main. When it's blue, it means no influence. When it's red, it means a lot. So we want, right now, in the case of arm lower left, for the main to not have any influence. Torso bottom, nothing. Torso middle, torso top, nothing. Neck, head, hat, arm upper right, no. Arm lower right, no. Hand R, no, because this is all on the right side. So, but now what about arm upper L? This is arm upper L, and yes, we want a little bit of influence right there. And I like that a lot. What about arm lower L? This whole thing is arm lower L, so actually we can just paint this whole thing red. How do we paint? We just click and drag. F makes the brush bigger. Shift F makes the intensity, sort of like opacity with paint, less, 0, or more, 100%, 1. So we want all of this to be red. If we were to hit Control and then click and drag, it does the reverse. So it's like the eraser. Basically, when it's really red, this bone affects this mesh 100%. When it's really blue, 0%. All right, so let's see what else we have. Hand, L. Yeah, we want like a little bit, some influence right there. That might be too much. I don't know. We might have to adjust a little bit. We'll see. All right, let's see what else. Leg, upper R, no. So there we go. We're done with arm lower left and weight pane. So we go back to object mode and we come down to arm lower right. So now go to weight paint and start from the top again. Main, zero influence on that part of the body. Torso bottom, no, 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 neck, no, head, hat, arm upper right. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Maybe a little more. Let's try it out. Arm lower right, we want 100%. So with weight paint mode, a gradient's a good idea, like to come off of it. That's why in arm upper right, that was a good amount. Let's see, hands are. I think we could do a little more, so maybe like that. And maybe that's too much, maybe it's not enough. We'll see when we go back and test it in pose mode. All right, so I'm going to do one more. Go back to object mode, select the next one, arm upper L. Weight paint mode, I'll do this one, and then I'll do it all in fast forward. But this is important right here. Maybe we actually don't even need to see the armature, so we can just hide it over here. And maybe we want to hide arm lower left. Okay, so we'll start from the top, main, now torso bottom, torso middle, torso top. This is torso top. I would like for there to be a little influence up there. Neck, no. Head, no. Hat, no. Arm upper right, no, because this is the right side, we're on the left side. Arm lower, okay. Arm upper left, we'll go with the whole thing, yes. What about arm lower left? I think we do a little more. Yeah, and then hand, no. And then everything, no. So now I'm going to do that for all of these, and I'll see you soon. This is important. We don't need the main to be influencing anything since that one just moves the puppet anyways. Alright, so here we go. We bring the armature back. We can put the armature over in this collection, really. And, because that's the camera collection. We got the armature. We're going to click on it. We're going to go into pose mode. Right here. Pose mode. Start moving some stuff and see how we're feeling. That's pretty good. This is good. But so for example, right there, the hand disappeared. This is going to be something we want to do. Right now, we're going to go into edit mode. But first, right now, I'm just testing out how this looks. I like that distortion. Yeah, that distortion looks really good. Let's see this. Yeah, that's pretty good, you know? So that right there, we have to work on that. I like what's happening here. Is that what we want, though? No. No. This is what we were talking about. I think we have to go back to this, go into weight paint mode, go back to leg upper, and we don't want that. We do not want that kind of distortion when the legs move. All right, now we're going to let me see what happens when the arms move. Maybe arm upper. Oh, if we do this, this could be something. Because now, this is what I was talking about when it comes to weight paint. It's a whole thing. It's a whole art in itself. Weight painting. You got oil painting. You got watercolor painting. You got weight painting. All right. This is gonna be fun to dance. Okay, so now that we have all the weight painting completed, we're going to start keyframing our dancer. We're going to start animating. Okay, so I like to turn off automatic keyframing because even though it adds more steps, if you forget that you have automatic keyframes, you're just starting out, maybe you haven't figured out the workflow, this will help you remember and purposefully add keyframes, okay? So let me show you. We're on frame 1 right here. This is to go back to the beginning, last frame, and I'm gonna go to output right here, and at 24 frames per second, I want a 10-second animation. We're gonna do 240, or like I mentioned earlier, you do 24 times 10. What do you get? You get 240, all right? So frame 1, I'm gonna start like this. By frame, let's say 20, just under a second, the pose we're gonna have, well, first let's go back to the beginning, select all with A, because we're in pose mode, select all with A, the whole armature. Up here with the cursor in 3D view, press I. Okay? We've got a keyframe. If you go here, you're in the dope sheet. Then you want to go over here, the dope sheet's dope sheet. So we have all our keyframes. Let's see how we, you know what, maybe let's press G. We have everything selected. Move it down. Maybe we're over here, we'll press A, press I. Okay? Press I to make that keyframe. Go to frame, let's say 16. And move arms up. Not like that. Let me see if I rotate them. Ooh. maybe, well, now I gotta think about how I want to, what am I doing over here? Okay, I'm going to rotate. We're gonna start with just some toe tapping. So A, select all, I. Advance a few frames. We're going to advance a few frames. 20. Select that toe again. Bring it down. A to select all. I. Let's just see what we have so far. Ooh, okay, I like that. We can copy and paste that by selecting all, pressing Shift T down here. Bring it over. Let's see how it looks. Okay, well, let's just do that a few more times, because it's definitely working. So I like how that's looking, feeling the music. Okay. I already showed you how to animate, so basically you move things around, like you can move something around, and then you press A to select everything, press I, and then you have that frame. Okay? So I'm going to do some animating and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to animate the camera. Actually, okay, hold on. We have to do something. We have to go into edit mode, and this is important. Certain bones have to be moved forward. Okay, so press G, Y. We have to move those bones forward. And let's see now if I were to go into pose mode. All right. All right, we have to go into object mode because some of these pieces do have to be moved back a little bit. So this right here can move back a little bit. Let's hide the armature so we can see. GY. Okay. Let's see if we move this in front. Okay. This is gonna have to move back a little bit. No. All right. All right. If you run into anything like that while animating, go into object mode, move the meshes, and we'll be good to go. Because you want certain parts of the body to be in front. Okay. So now we bring the armature back. We go back into pose mode. Keep animating. I went into object mode, selected the meshes that I wanted to have come forward a little bit, and set that keyframe. And now everything should be in front like how I wanted it. Perfect. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. But look at how the hat really adds a little bit of detail right there. See, I didn't have to move the hat, but since the head kind of comes back, swings back sort of fast, do a little bit of movement on the hat. Check it out. Delete or hide the armature so you can see. Notice this. Just a tiny bit, you know? All right, so I added a background. I added another character. My wife drew this super cute pink elephant, and I did the process of the PNGs, the meshes, the rigging, and animating for the little elephant as well. And this is what we have right now. And I'm also now going to show you how to animate the camera. So I rigged and keyframed the two characters. So the characters are animated, the background is animated, as you can see, the background's moving. Now I'm going to show you how to animate the camera. Okay, so first off, we're on frame 1, great. I select the camera, and I go over here to lock to 3D cursor and camera view. Now if I move around, if I'm currently without that selected, I move around, I'm now orbiting, okay? Back to the camera, if I zoom out, everything stays the same, but if I zoom out with this locked, as you can see, the camera is now wherever I orbit, the camera is following the movements. So that could be what you want. That might not be what you want. If you don't want that, just unclick this and then move around. Okay. All right, great. So now I'm going to see what kind of animating do I want to do for the camera. We know that the whole animation is 548 frames. So I'm going to start here on frame 1. I turned off automatic keyframes because I like to just keyframe it myself. So leave that off. If you would like to have automatic keyframe, turn that on. And let's say I want, with the camera selected, I want this to be a keyframe. I'm in object mode. I select the camera. It's important to make sure you're in object mode. Select the camera. You have this locked. I press I and I make a keyframe. Okay? So let's say I now advance to frame 60. Maybe I want to zoom in a little bit and position this here. Okay, press I again up here in the 3D viewport. And we have a keyframe, as you can see. So I'll go back to the beginning and see how this looks. Okay, we're getting a nice zoom in. That's nice. Let's say I want to then, from there, hold it. I'll select that. It's yellow, select it. I'll press Shift D to duplicate, move it over to frame 80. And now it's, that shot is held, so the camera won't be moving at all. So start from the beginning. Okay, we're zooming in. Hold that shot. Great. Maybe we want to hold it till the elephant lands. Okay, now when the elephant lands, we're there. We're going to just move forward 1 frame. So from 108 to 109. If I now zoom in to, let's say, the face, press I to create that keyframe. From 109, from 108 to 109, it's just that 1 frame, so it's a cut. So let's see how this looks. I'm just trying stuff out. Okay, and then lands, cut. Oh, that's nice. So maybe here we do a pan. So I'm going to move the camera over, press I. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Maybe around right there. I want the camera to go here. So maybe this is like a pan over. Let's see what we have so far. Where we cut is going to be important for the flow of the movements of the characters as well. So I cut it right when the toe was about to tap. The camera can be a character and can be a narrative element. If you make any adjustments, even though you're on the frame that's already keyframe, you gotta press I again to make that new adjustment, that new edit, the keyframe. Okay. Alright, now we're going to do some grease pencil. To do that, we're in object mode. Hit Shift A, grease pencil blank. Here we are, the grease pencil. It appeared somewhere around here. And we want to move it forward, G, Y. We want to put it in front of everything. You see this right here, that little circle, little dot, little orange dot. Okay. Come over, and we're going to start drawing. Like I mentioned, we want it to be in front of all the other things. Okay. So, go into draw mode, right here, draw. And this is important. I turned on automatic keyframes. That's fine. We can delete some keyframes later on, but this is what I wanted to do. Right here, I want to have the eyes open, and then here I want to have the little elephant wink. So about there, the eyes are going to open. Okay, I have camera not locked anymore. So now when I move the camera, I'm actually not moving the camera. When I orbit and pan, it's just the orbiting and being able to zoom out, zoom in, but the camera is not moving anymore since I already keyframed the camera and have all the camera movements where I want them. Press N to have that appear and disappear, and then here I'm going to do some hand drawing. Okay, so I have my tablet connected. This is how I draw. If I press F, the brush gets bigger or smaller. If I press Shift F, I can change the opacity. 0 is nothing, 1, 100%. We'll put it at, let's say, 30. If I come here, I can select colors. Or if I press E while the cursor's over, I can do a little eyedropper and start selecting colors based on what I have already. This is important. We want to be here, not that one, but rather this one, the color attributes. So I color this way, come over here, select some other colors. I'm trying to simulate that texture. depending on what style you're going for. You have different brushes down here. I like this one, the ink pen. Right now I'm going to choose a color and draw. So I'm going to draw the eyes. If you want to erase, you can come over here to eraser. You have dissolve, point, stroke. You can leave it in dissolve and, you know, do a little touch up. If that's dissolve, this is points, or does it based on different points, and that's strokes. Okay, so we'll leave that there. I'm actually going to choose dissolve, but a smaller brush. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, I think that's pretty good for now. I like it. And we have the keyframe. Now we're going to cut to here. We're going to set a keyframe for that. Press I down here to set a keyframe, and then about there, I want to have a keyframe of the elephant winking. So I'm going to select that color. Make the opacity 100%. Cover the eye, because now I'm going to draw the eye closed. Select the color down here. Make the little wink. We already have the keyframe, and then maybe we'll have it open again. So select that, copy and paste, open it up. Oh, nice. All right, let's see. Opens, wink, nice. All right, I think I'm gonna need a little more, 1 more seconds here. So I'll do 548 plus 24, 572. Okay, I feel good about that. This whole thing I'm going to move back, move it around like there. So open eyes, wink, nice. Great, nice job.